Hello and welcome to Sustainability Sparks, a fireside chat series brought to you by Green Phoenix Circular Solutions. I am your host, Vidhi, who's going to take you on an exciting journey to ignite sustainability to create positive impact for the planet and the future generations. Today, for our episode, we have a power packed ecological entrepreneur who is on a mission to democratize the access to eco friendly products and raw materials while reducing the impact of human activities on the planet. One who comes with vast experience having worked with multiple MNCs but has found his calling in trying to help make them more sustainable. We are proud to have with us Mr. Akshay Deshpande, founder Switcheko, India's first technology driven B2B marketplace for sustainable raw materials and eco friendly products. Welcome to our fireside chat, Akshay. It is super exciting to have you here with us.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much, Vidhi. It's a pleasure me being out here with you.
So, Akshay, as I mentioned, that you have a vast experience of working with so many MNCs. Like when I see your CV, you've done your graduation and post graduation in hotel management, and then you've worked in so many MNCs, and now you are working in the space of sustainability management. Can you tell us a little about this journey that you took right from being working studying hotel management and now working in the sustainability space?
Okay, so studying hotel management was like a fancy thing because I come from a middle class background, and going into a five-star hotel was a dream come true for when I was a kid. So I thought the best way to enter was to do an hotel management degree when you could have an access to all the five-star hotels, and so that was one of the thing which was going around. And one of my uncles was doing hotel management, and always when I used to call him up, and nowhere is like, I'm there in this hotel, I'm there in that hotel, or I'm working in this hotel, now I'm in cruise, and now I'm in the airlines and stuff like that. Like, it fascinated me a lot, and that was one of the things that I joined hotel management. But to be honest, it was a different ballgame altogether when you started studying it as a subject and seeing the glamour things around. So that was there. Then did my education, started working with one of two hotels initially for a very small, short span of time. Then, luckily, from when I graduated out, I got a campus placement at Infosys. So I think the first place, I think that is where the seed of sustainability got into me. And now it's more than 12 plus years being in the space of sustainability, being in the space of CSR, administration, facility management, and all. So that's how the entire demography of mine has changed. The outlook towards it, I think, yes, Infosys and my few early stage managers who have changed me to a person who I am today.
Okay, okay, that's wonderful. I guess your varied experiences have actually given you a very good broad outlook as to how, again, in this 12 plus years, how the whole sustainability game has changed also, and how this whole ecosystem is now building up with so many, frameworks coming into picture and so much of things happening in this space. If you could tell us, first of all, we are extremely curious what made you think of coming up with the name of Switcheko, because it's a very interesting name. And what was your that one motivation to actually come in this space of opening a B2B marketplace for sustainable raw materials and eco-friendly products?
Oh, okay. So the first, to answer to your first question, if you can see me behind it, Switch Eco. So when it is Switch Eco, so one, the English version of it is to switch to Eco. Uh, the Hindi version also is something which is I was very keen. Switch Eco. So it's Switch Ek Wo. It's Hindi one is Ek, and the O is one. So I wanted to appreciate that one person who has made that switch. Switch Ek Wo. So the guy who has made the switch, or the person who has taken that step towards making the switch towards the organization, or to the school, or to the college, or to the society, or as an individual, that one person who has made that switch is where we come up with this name called Switcheko.
Okay.
That is something which comes down. And to answer to your second question is, because being in the corporate space, understood the challenge of having access to affordable and sustainable products was one of the major challenges that I came across in the entire couple of years. Then thought, why don't we start something on that space where we can have an access being provided to people, where they get access to sustainability products, they get access to training. One of the major challenges that came across, we started off, business was good, but one of the major challenges that I felt in the initial days was people are not even aware of sustainability.
Okay.
There is a buzzword that they like using, that buzzword, that sustainability. Then I ask, what does sustainability means? So I get a lot of answers coming around. So then I realized, okay, first I think the most important and the emphasis needs to be given on awareness building. So that is where we started doing awareness. In last 7 months, we have covered close to around 27,000 plus people in creating awareness, and it's going around. Been helping a lot of school, colleges kids is where I emphasize 80% is that, because person like me, so I always claim whenever I'm there in a training, and I am an idiot. An idiot has already spoiled the next future generation. So it is their responsibility to take it up. So I want them to be aware that an idiot like me has spoiled it. How do they ensure that an idiot like me does not do it more? And how are they going to keep up with this? So I am not blaming anyone. It's me. I have spoiled it. I am going to ensure it.
Okay. Oh, that is a very interesting way to express, like, whatever has happened over the years, of how the ways our consumption is actually creating so much damage on the planet, and how that whole narrative needs to change, that it is not just about unlimited growth, but sustainable living in tune with nature, making sure that whatever we are consume is not going overboard or damaging the planet in a negative way. I'm sure you must have faced a bit of challenges once you started out with this organization. What has been your biggest challenge till now in this space, and how did you manage to overcome it?
The biggest challenge that I've had in this space was greenwashing. There are multiple agencies who are coming, I'm sustainable, this is a sustainable product. There are multiple companies who are like bombarding with, oh, this is right, this is right, this is right, and all. So I felt it very, for a couple of times, I felt maybe I am wrong and they are right. The way they do marketing, the way they do the kind of videos that they put it across to other people, I like, my God, maybe I am really wrong. They are right. But when I sit down and just try to analyze this thing, then we will understand what actually the truth is. They were many companies who claim themselves as sustainability, who claim that they are doing good for, at their own organizational level, they don't have anything. Yeah, they're still there. Many organizations, they are claiming big posters around. I put a badge and I'm using this word. I get annoyed and irritated when they like, we are sustainable, we are helping this company to become plastic neutral, we are becoming this. Guys, you are eating in a single-use plastic at your own office.
Yeah.
You are not talking about reusability at your own office. You don't have a waste bin segregation at your own office. You don't have proper waste disposal at your own office, and you are coming and giving lectures about this to others and telling that this is what we are. This was a major challenge, and people, like, because everyone is on Reels, Instagram, YouTube, and stuff like that, and everyone is getting impressed with what they are showcasing it to the other world and what actually they are.
Absolutely.
So as they tell it in Hindi, खुद के घर को साफ नहीं रखना है, अपना कूड़ा दूसरों के घर में रखना है, and claiming it that we are good.
We are good. Yeah.
This is one of the major big challenges that I'm facing it across. and they are being celebrated.
Yes, yes, yes.
That is the sad truth.
Yeah, absolutely. That is very unfortunate truth that is currently reigning across, I think, almost all sectors trying to work in this space. I mean, there are a few people, I'm not saying that
Yeah,
who are not doing good work. There are people who are actually doing genuine work at the grassroots level, trying to bring in so much of good change. But unfortunately, currently, the majority of the group is just somewhere they've just tweaked, like, okay, out of convenience they're also trying to find out convenience in this, कि हाँ ये हमारे लिए convenient हो रहा है तो हम इतना करके claim कर रहे हैं, मतलब करते
बस
हैं इतना, but the
हाँ,
claim is like
बस
over the top. And because they have such strong marketing team,
yeah,
which anything very minuscule also is blown out of proportion. And then people uh, and multiple agencies doing that, people start believing, oh, since so many people are doing it, matlab that will be right.
right.
And since the few people are doing something else, I mean, that sense of doubt starts coming in
Yeah,
this space.
very
Absolutely, absolutely understand, that feeling that you get. Many a times we hear about zero waste events, we hear about sustainable events, and unfortunately the focus at such events is not making it zero waste right from the start.
hard.
But okay, जो waste generate हुआ उसको हमने completely recycle कर दिया, इसलिए it's zero waste. And that is so unfortunate, and it annoys me as well. I'm like, you're talking of zero waste, it needs to start right at the planning stage. That
Correct.
when you're planning for an event, whatever you're planning to do, try to minimize the waste there itself. Think about reusability rather than having sustainable cutlery which goes into recycling, which you don't even know is actually getting recycled or not. I mean, once you are handing it over to the recycler, is it getting recycled? Is it too contaminated to get recycled? You know nothing about it.
Very true.
So,
Very true.
yeah, absolutely understand that challenge, which I think most of the organizations working in this space are facing, and it's like it pervades everywhere.
I totally echo with you. I think I just in last week I was with in a conference where the Swachh Bharat director was there with ex he was there, Akshay. So I think the way I speak. He was like, I think startups needs to be more take up more of an activist position these days than actually doing yeah. I don't, sir, if I'm not being an activist, I don't feel I'll survive even, because the kind of marketing and the kind of bombarding that happens and the kind of trolling that people do, I think I will not even survive if I'm
Yeah.
not being an activist. And good for me that I am an hardcore activist, being from my childhood days, being from a particular section of preaching that is being followed in India. I use this word preaching that has been followed. So I am being an activist on environmental and this kind of a thing. So I have no regrets.
Sure, sure, sure. No, we do need the voices to reach to the right kind of voices to reach to the people. Because even today, like if you if you open your LinkedIn news feed, and if you are just scrolling to the news feed, majorly what you see is, okay, this regulatory framework came out, that regulatory framework came out, this report is being removed, that report is being removed. But what is actually happening to make sustainability is nowhere seen. And then you see only continuous probably news articles of, oh, we need to do something for the climate, oh, we need to do something for the climate, this organization is not doing anything. So it's so much filled with so much of negativity in this space that no one is doing anything. So somewhere that it's a very gray area where
Hey,
people who are actually wanting to do stuff have to have a balance of being a bit of an activist and being a bit of a professional, taking it together and trying to show the real picture to to everyone that, okay, this is genuine sustainability and that is just a marketing gimmick.
very true. Very true. And I think Vijay, you and me have been a part of most of this conferences also, where in a few of the conferences where I was speaking to you as well and I was telling, I think they are right in the way they have lobbied it. They have made an entire team force to speak about what is the business they are doing and how they need to work. They have, forget about government. Their association has created a framework, and they are all abiding. All the entire members are abiding with that framework. And we, someone who's trying to do is like, okay, this is guy is wrong, because when this guy is doing, I'm not getting business. Yeah, there is so much of this market is so big. There is so much for available. Even someone came up to me and told the other day, Akshay, I think you are our competition. I told boss, if you feel that way, na, give me your company t-shirts, give me your company. I'll start working for you. I have no problem. I'm no one's competition here. We are talking about generations, future generations, man. If you have not been into a dump yard, just please visit a dump yard and see what is the situation out there. Then you will realize what I'm talking about. I'm not sitting in an AC cabin daily and telling that, oh, this is good, this is good. I don't have a AC conference halls where we are doing a deliberate thought process discussions around. I am discussing with the ground people. I am coming up with the challenges with ground people. So I'm happy to support anyone who's trying to do anything in the good way.
Yeah, absolutely. So as like going through your work profile, your company profile, like one of your major missions are like to democratize like availability of sustainable raw materials. Usually democracy, we describe it as of the people, by the people, for the people. If you could let us know, how are you envisioning your like mission when it comes to sustainability, if you could let us know.
Okay. So what we am 70 plus 70, okay, around 70% of my products are being manufactured by a self-help group or by a tribe only.
Okay.
So what happens here is usually when I saw in the ground reality, these tribe people are being given some product, they have been told to make some product, which are one to handicraft, which hardly any people buy these days. An example to quote, a bamboo basket. How many times have you purchased a bamboo basket? Again, compared to a bamboo toothbrush.
Yes.
There was an ecosystem that was there. I just tried to tweak in with the product.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. We were doing it. Okay, we want bamboo cups. Why don't we, in replacement of baskets, start making cups? Start making bamboo, anything which is mass scalable. So that is what. So what we have done, we worked with the self-help groups and tribes. We got them raw material, we got them training, we got them machinery, and we started rolling out. Okay. That's what we're trying to do. And the second thing that I've told, again, the challenge was, if we are only supposed to buy back that material, or can we sell it out? I told was your livelihood is most important. You are making it. So how much ever I need it, I'll buy it from you. Rest all things, you have raw material, you're starting to manufacture, go out and sell it. They are now selling it out in the market as well. So they are getting money from there. I'm also buying it in bulks only, which is happening and which is making for them, which the people used to tell me, sir, हम लोग पहले 100 बनाते थे टोकरी, खरीदने वाले बहुत कम रहते थे, हमारे पास ही रहता था. We used to more rely on the government ration, government funding coming and all. But आज के डेट में आपके वजह से we are good too, because आपने कभी नहीं बोला कि मुझे ही बेचना है, इनको ही बेचना है, ऐसे ही बेचना है. मैं आपको तो raw material दे रहा हूँ. There was also one more place where because of being in that ecosystem, they themselves have identified the way of sourcing that raw material at a cheaper cost. Now they are telling me, you go and buy it from them.
Okay.
So that our production cost reduces and we can come out with a much cheaper and a best quality product for our clients. Yes. This is happening. Now, what is more democratized than this?
Absolutely. That is so true. Because in one of our conversations that we had earlier, the guest mentioned that, when you're working with the grassroots workers, or whenever you're working with the indigenous or self-help groups, it's essential to have some amount of flexibility when you're working with them, and not have too much rigid norms. Then,
Yes.
achieving the goal becomes way more tougher, and it's not helping, neither it's helping us nor it is helping them in a good way. And I think what you are doing, giving them that flexibility, that okay, I will take how much I require, but you are still independent to continue selling those similar products to the market outside, is not just probably not democracy, but I think you are contributing to the greater good of कि जितना ज्यादा sustainability सब जगह फैले उतना अच्छा है. And if
Yes.
we could become that one small vehicle of trying to make that happen, I think that will be a good contribution
Yeah.
in this
I
space.
think that is what I am trying to emphasize here on. That is what people think me as a competition. That is the reason I tell I am not your competition. I'm happy to work in your organization. Also, I'm emphasizing this on the second time because this is people. आजकल कैसे हो गया ना, लोगों को ये अच्छा है, ये बंदा अच्छा, कोई कोई मेरे साथ अच्छा भी हो सकता है, is not able to digest anymore.
Yeah.
How, why is he being nice to me? I think there is something, दाल में कुछ काला है. No, I think people can't be nice. People only we can see nice people only on YouTube reels. We can see only nice people in movies and all. How is he nice? Why is he nice? And people
Yeah.
even ask me this question: why are you trying to be nice? What is your financial motive behind it?
Yes. Yes.
मैं बोला अगर फाइनेंशियल मोटिव होता तो मैं भी दूसरों के जैसे ग्रीन वॉशिंग करते हुए आराम से अपने एसी कैबिन में बैठा रहता, ना कि मैं आपके साथ यहाँ रहता.
Yes, 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 absolutely. So, with this discussion coming to that competition part, now, we attend so many conferences, we attend so many lectures and everything. There is this one discussion that everybody is currently having, that unfortunately the work right now is happening in silos. Bits and parts mein bahut kaam ho raha hai. And what we need is to create an ecosystem where every stakeholder is trying to work together, no matter if they are in the same field like a competitor, but sustainability demands that we work together. How do you think, probably we could speak about one particular industry, or in the businesses in general, can collaborate together so that we are able to build such an ecosystem?
I think collaboration is your existence in future. If you do not collaborate, then you are no more there. Because you cannot, the problem is such big. You as an individual, आप ठीक है, आपको 1000 करोड़ भी दे दिए कि बोला आपको इम्पैक्ट करना है पूरे भारत पे, आप कर पाओगे क्या? आप नहीं कर पाओगे. आप मेरे पास 1000 करोड़ हो गए, मेरे को दे दिया किसी इन्वेस्टर ने 1000 करोड़, बोला है कि आपको इम्पैक्ट करना है, आप नहीं कर पाओगे. आपको किसी ना किसी और एक साथी की जरूरत है. अगर कार एक पहिए पे चलने लग जाती तो बहुत अच्छा होता, तो पर कार चलने के लिए आपको 4 चक्कों की जरूरत है. It's as simple as that. To move forward, you need that 4 wheels, that motor, the transition, the gear, the entire. Sustainability is like a car. It is good. You have 1000 crores, you can have it in your house until and unless you have fuel in it, which is an external part, until and unless you have the ability to sit and drive, until and unless you have a fellow co-passengers who can take you around, you will end up being in your garage. Nothing else.
Yes, that is so true. That very well put across, that it is not a one-man show, or a one-man army trying to bring about changes in this space, because there are so many factors influencing whatever that needs to be done, from the sustainability point of view, where businesses, and not just businesses, I think, probably startups, businesses, policy frameworks, industry, academia, everybody need to join hands and work together. Correct. Towards moving in the right direction in this space.
Very good. So just to add it to you, why am I telling collaboration also is one more important point is, you might not even know how to drive the car. You are thinking that you are driving it in this way. Okay? Until and unless someone comes and tells you, boss, the way you are thinking, to drive this car in this fashion is wrong. Your thought process of driving a car in this way is wrong. You have to drive the car in this way. This will enable you to reach the way. For example, what we have the cars in US, what we have the cars in India, the left and the right drive. So both the mechanism, the structure, everything remains the same, but the view, the right wing and the left wing view changes. It changes. So you need to have that kind of a guidance or a mentorship. When you collaborate, when you start understanding, also gets you the correct way to drive that. Maybe I also sometimes might lose the track and tell something which I have over exaggerated things and told. But maybe when someone is there to help you, to guide you in a proper manner, and collaborative work can definitely help in that fashion, also in self-planning.
Yes. That is a very good analogy that you mentioned about how you can drive a car and how different ways or perspectives come, like, just by shifting your seat from one side to the other. And that is something I guess is also applicable to when we are working in this space. It's not that always everybody has the expertise of everything. Like, different expertise is coming together, putting their heads together and trying to work for one common goal is where I think we will be able to achieve what we are aiming for through collaboration.
Right.
How do you think, what role do educational institutions in the current times play in imparting sustainability, not just in the children, of course, because it's not like, only that the future generation should know about sustainability, but how can they influence even the parents of the children or the students that come to study there? How do you think educational institutions can play a role?
I think for me, an educational institution is like a prayer hall where you just don't go there to just recite something. Is also where you go there, you try to learn. It's a different kind of it's a different ball game altogether. What they teach you there, it is not just teaching, it is a basic life skills that you learn from educational institute, and nurturing it from the day one. Parents give you a 5%. What I feel, parents, our society near you can give you, influence you 10 to 15%, 5 to 15% only. But an educational institute can inculcate a good habit, a good lifestyle, a good sense of difference, understanding between common sense and nonsense is only brought in at an educational institute.
Sure.
So that is most important for me. That is most important than anything else. An educational institute, and the transformation that you will get when a student transforms his or her own life in a fashion is extraordinary. I just want to put out a story to you. So I was giving out an awareness session in one of the schools here. And I usually give an awareness session. I told you have to do the segregations and this is how you have to do. And at the last, I showed my phone number and told if someone had any queries, they can call in. So this is a 7th class student. He didn't find my number there. He went to the teacher, asked, there was the sir who had come down to give us a training. Can you share me his number? So ma'am asked why. I wanted to speak to him. Since I told anyone can have the number, the teacher gave the number to him. He went back home, took his mom's number, phone, gave me a call. You told me base segregation. I'm doing it. My father isn't doing it. Okay. Can you just please tell him how to do it? He immediately gave that phone to the father.
Okay.
He has a phone. Father, like, what is happening? And like, sir, your son has called that you are not able to do this, and please ensure that you are doing this. Just try to explain him what needs to be done. He understood. It was an awkward kind of a conversation that me and his father had, because we did. And then next day it happened. I gave him 15 days after that. He again called me. He tells that, sir, आपने क्या बोला मेरे पापा को, उन्होंने करना शुरू कर दिया है. आप मेरे को प्लीज समझाएंगे ताकि मैं बाकी के अंकलों को भी ये समझा सकूं कि वो भी कराना शुरू कर दें.
Wow.
Just that itself is an enough for my lifetime. That he taking the number, calling me up, telling me that this needs to be done, telling his father that he has to do that, ensuring that his father has done it, giving me a feedback. I think this is called circular economy. To
Yes.
start where the problem is, ensuring that it's happening, and ensuring that it is happened, and ensuring that it goes spreads across.
Yeah.
This cannot be a classic example than what it is.
True.
This is an impact that school has created. If
Yes.
the school would have not called me, I would have not been there. He would have this incident would have never happened in my life. To come and tell it out to you that this is so much dear to me. I so like it and sharing it because people get motivated by hearing to this.
Yeah.
They start doing this, and when a father, and that father is now a client because he's seeing that impact on himself. He started giving us small orders, and which is I'm happy.
Okay. Yeah, that is a very wonderful experience that you've had. And I think children play an extremely important role in the current time to actually change this narrative that a lot of parents have, like unfortunately, because of the way, things have been, or with the way the consumption patterns have been, or the way somewhere, the grooming has also been from childhood. Unfortunately, they did not have access to the right kind of knowledge, and then they've ended up being like, okay, you should have everything, like you know easily available. There should be a sense of convenience, and then they are trying to do everything for the child, trying to give them everything easily. Unfortunately, that is not, really contributing to the betterment of the upbringing of the child, and
Correct.
not the planet as well. And
Very true.
children absolutely play a very important role. Like, it's kind of like a butterfly effect that happens, that you impart the seed in a child's mind, and that seed is, it spreads to every family. It's like every child you uh, make aware, it's like four more people in the family getting aware, and then so on and so forth. And that is an absolutely amazing experience.
Yeah. And one more thing, we have some student called Ayan who comes down for a lake cleanups every Sunday.
Okay.
So he cancelled his vacations, came up early so that he can be part of the lake cleanup on every Sunday.
Oh, wow.
This is what he has done, and his mother, grandparents, and all, like, they are now following. They are like, Sunday, Ayan is going to go for lake cleanup. We
Okay.
are like that. Then they are following up with him. They are telling him, "Arey, it is morning 5 o'clock. It's your Sunday." He's following up with his mother. The one of the I'm sorry, but the one person who's getting annoyed with all this is mother. Because poor lady, she has to get up every
Yeah.
Sunday. She only gets one day. She has to get up every Sunday. He's so hyped, for this. But now I think in last 3 months, she is like, that has become a new normal for her as well.
Hmm.
And she brings in a lot of Priya Tota. She is a lady who comes on. The son and mother are for sure in the lake cleanup. He is so pumped. The kind of questions that this guy asks are, I have no answers in terms of sustainability, in terms of what. And a classic example again, which I wanted to give, bamboo toothbrush. I gave it to him, and wherein I mentioned his name on it
Okay.
and gave. Because he's been there understanding all these things, he asked me a question which I didn't have an answer. He like, you gave engraving has happened. How is the process? He asked me. I told him this is how the engraving happens. So what is the carbon emissions that that product has created when you are engraving?
Okay.
Was it not easy for you to give a paper note, that wrap it in a paper mentioning printing iron, and wrapping the product in that paper and giving? Who is printing on a paper more sustainable, or printing on a bamboo or engraving on a bamboo is more sustainable?
Okay.
Really, I didn't have an answer to that kind of a question.
That is wonderful. I mean, it's like the child is just born with life cycle thinking. I mean, he's already thinking about every process that you are
Yeah,
doing, whether is it sustainable enough or not.
I was like shocked. And his mother, another is like going, he stopped eating outside food.
Okay.
His mother is like, Akshay, thanks to you, he stopped eating outside food. There is nothing, the only outside food that he is liking is French fries,
Mhm.
nothing else apart. I don't know why, what is the fantasy that he has? Everything else is stopped. Apart
Mhm.
from French fries, he's not asking for anything else, nothing Akshay, only French fries. And I think it's my responsibility that I also cut down on that French fries and I'm trying to make it out in my house. And
Okay.
because I'm not able to meet the way the crispiness of that French fries comes in the market and I am able to do it in the house. So I am also letting it go. But I think I
Okay.
am going to learn and see how I can come down to that crispiness. That's the only product he's asking for. He's cut down on everything else.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think that he is been inspiration for all of us.
Yes, true, true. I mean, many times, like when we think of something like where we want to make our activities more sustainable, a lot of people first think about the inconveniences that will come with it. But it's like, as you mentioned, initially it was a challenge for the mother to wake up early in the morning, and now that she's got used to it, it's become a new normal. I guess the same thing applies to when we are wanting to make any activity that we do more sustainable. Probably there might be a bit of inconvenience in the start because we've got so used to living a convenient life. But I think once you start doing it, it becomes way more easier. And then you don't even realize that, okay, you are doing something different. It just gets ingrained in your daily
Yeah,
doing of things.
very
Like, for
true.
example, personally, like, of course, when I was a child, the milk used to get delivered at home in our own, own containers, where the milkman used to go door to door and deliver the milk. Over time, that things started changing into milk coming in plastic pouches and plastic contain like basically those single use plastic milk pouches, or the thin kind of plastic that is there. And that is something that really affected me personally, that okay, every day we consume milk, different households, different quantities, sometimes it's 1 liter, half liter, 2 liters and everything. And that is where I thought that no, at least on a personal level, I want to make this change. Is where I spoke with the milk delivery person who comes to my house, requesting him that I will bring the containers, you just fill it in that. See, you are anyways filling it in a plastic cover and giving it to us. Might as well fill it in the container and deliver it. Initially, there was a bit of hesitation because they were already got so used to putting it in plastic out of convenience, and it is easy, even if it overturns or something, since they've tied the knot, it's not going to overflow. But now they have also got so used to making use of the containers that we give them to fill the milk in. So we've got these two steel containers that I use on a rotating basis. So he comes today, I wash it, I give it off to him, he fills it in it, brings it the next day, and so on and so forth, eliminating all of the plastic that was coming with the milk. And rather, frankly speaking, it has become more convenient for him as well, and it has become more convenient for me personally as well, because every morning I don't have to think about, oh, I need to open that plastic pouch, I need to clean it, I have to worry about that. Like current now, it's just like, okay, the container is there, open it, put it into the heating vessel, and it's done. And it has made life way more convenient than making it convenient.
And to be honest, the milk is more tastier too.
Yes, yes. And without worry of microplastics.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, in this classic example, the way you told, for me also, when I traveled earlier, because I was from the corporate style, so there used to be a crate of water bottles, a crate of cold drinks and chips in my car every time, because my travel was something insane.
Mhm.
So you used to have, and you're meeting a lot of government officials, and That used to be like offering a water bottle. You're there on the field, you're getting audited for some other purposes, and so having that water bottle and biscuits in the car was like a normal thing. So one day used to be like creating bottles, and I was a polluter myself. That is the reason when I told I am an idiot, I threw it. I did before I even started. And consciously, when I started one time, I collected whatever the plastic that I've generated on one particular day itself. I kept it around. Astonishing, the number was 1.25 kilos of plastic that I have generated in one trip alone.
Okay. Okay.
1.25 kgs was that. My God. The moment that I started realizing, then I like, okay, 1 kilo hi to hai. What is a big deal? These were all my corporate before startup or before understanding. हाँ वो तो recycling के लिए जा रहा है, उसमें तो recycle ही होना है. Nothing is going to happen to this. Now when I come down to this, I feel what that 1 kg is. It's not 1 kg, it's 1 kg.
Yeah.
And also when I travel these days in trains and all, earlier, hell lot of water bottles, reusable, everything, single-use plastics to everything. Now able to carry money, the money that is, we are startup people, we need to think on saving the money.
Yes.
So the money that I'm saving was huge. In the entire last week I was there in Delhi, from my train trips to coming back, I've comfortable journey. Water was plenty. There were RO plants in most of the stations. Cold water available for free in few stations. Available at a nominal cost of 5 rupees. I would have purchased a water bottle for 20 rupees at 5 rupees. I stayed in a hostel. There, water camphor was kept. I refilled my bottle. It's barely any money that I have wasted only on water. Clean, hygienic, no problem. I had no health issues. People tell, "Arey, you drink that water, you have motions, you have diarrhea." Sorry, guys, it's a myth. I had no health issues. I ate junk in my own reusable things. I ate everything. Still, I didn't have any health effects.
Yeah. That is a very important thing that you mentioned, that like, when you are making use of reusable containers, you save on a lot of money. Unfortunately, the narrative that people have in that mind when they buy mineral water, a mineral water bottle or a pet bottle, is that they are paying for the purity of the water, but unfortunately they are paying for the packaging that goes along with the water. Because water is not charging you, like, nature is not charging you for the water that it is giving you.
Very. And one more thing, you don't even know if that packaging has happened properly or not.
Yes.
If there in the trains you are traveling, you are really not aware if that same bottle that you would have purchased in your last trip would have been reused and filled in the same RO plant where I am filling my bottle, and just packed and given it out to you also.
Yeah.
You don't even know that.
Yes.
And how many videos have gone viral about how the packaging, how the bottles have been done. You might be the other person. It's just that that is engraved in your mind. No, this is right, and all. That's the sad part of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the packaging has just changed narratives for people, thinking that it's more hygienic, it is more safe, it is more sterile. But I mean, I don't think so. It really matters, because again, like it is also mentioned that just having mineral water is also not good for your body, because you're losing out on so many important nutrients and minerals that should go inside your body, which comes with natural water, not with those treated water that is there.
Trust me, Vidhi, these kids these days have lost on lot many things. The way we used to have the hand pumps and the water taste in the hand pump is it's amrit. What gel is amrit? It was actually amrit. Now all this water spring, Himalaya spring waters, say Switzerland waters have changed that the taste of the hand pump and the water is next level. I'll be very honest with you.
True, true. And we still in India at least have that matka that is there at home
Yeah.
where we fill our water and keep. I think nothing beats the water that is there in the
Eh,
matka. I mean, no fridge frozen water, no Himalaya water, nothing. I mean, that water that you fill in your own matka is nothing beats it. And the satisfaction that it gives
yeah.
is also nothing can.
Very, very true. And our office we don't have fridge, we don't have AC.
Hmm.
We
Okay.
have matkas. We have used the open ventilation systems.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. The water is so tasty. We sit on the floors. There is no tables. So I want people to sit on the floors and eat food. So
Yes.
we have mats that are made from the coconut and things. We sit on the floors. We sit and eat our meals in our office. We
Okay.
drink from that. And my interns, my employees are loving it. Because,
Okay.
and their parents are also loving it. That the office is coming and teaching us that they thought only school and colleges used to have it, but in the office they are coming learning something good from an office and coming back and implementing in this house is a next level that any parent would have thought.
True, true, true. That is wonderful. Okay. Coming to almost our last question. You see a lot of startups, young people, coming up with startups trying to solve some issue, some, one issue that can connect, the whole, probably in a supply chain, some issue of, that is unsustainable, trying to come up with a sustainable solution. And a lot of other startups also coming into, with the Startup India initiative, a lot of startups are opening. What would be your that one advice that you would like to give to these young entrepreneurs starting their journey in this space?
First request that I have most, because I am also a mentor at a couple of the places. Every kid comes up with an idea. My only request to these kids is, guys, to be very honest, not everyone is meant to be a startup founder. Okay, there is a different zeal that is needed, there is a different commitment that is needed, and there is a different mindset that is needed. So have speak to any of the mentors or speak to any of the people around, well wishers, to get your idea validated. If you think because everyone around has the ideas coming down that okay, this is going to be the next level idea, have that. Definitely it's good to have that idea, it's good to have that kind of a thought process coming in. Just get that idea validated from your mentor, from your well wishers, from any person. Get that thing validated and see if it is actually a thing, then pursue it. Or else actually think out, think on some other lines, think on some lines which actually can bring in an entire ecosystem change. You also, and it is not necessarily required that you have to get into a startup, start your own startup also to improve something. You can also get join some startup, or you can join some NGO, you join somewhere else where if you see there is a problem statement that is there, try to work, understand that problem statement thoroughly. Now what is happening is uh, these startups are creating a product and then telling, going out in the market to selling their product. You have to understand first, go speak to that people, understand their product, what problem statement is, then start building on that product. I think then you will also understand what your competencies are, what best you can do, how you can achieve this. That will enable most of them, that will help you to cut down on your learning curve, that will help you to cut down on your energies that you're going to put on to that idea to make it win. That will help you to rightly articulate in a fashion that can be accepted by the market. And the last, you have a mentor then who's helping you out. Maybe he or she can help you out getting some funds to scale that product.
Yes.
Someone might have an idea, but someone might not have funds. So someone might have funds but not an idea. But when you have idea, when there is a funds around, a person can definitely help in terms of getting this around. Just validate, understand, speak. I think speaking your heart, speaking your thing. Do not reveal everything. If you think that your idea is the next thing, you don't have to reveal the entire thing to them, but at least explain what you're trying to do. maybe understand, take a feedback, then move on. Feedback is important.
Yes, that is a very good advice that you just said, that uh, you should always first check for the problem statement before coming up with the solution, because you can't impose solutions on people, and that is not serving anyone. And that startup, I mean, it is just that you wanted to do something, so you ended up starting it, but it's not like a very positive thing. And that is why we see a lot of failures also in this space. You hear yearly a lot of MSMEs and startups coming up, but then a very small percentage of it is actually long term and sustainable. It's not just that, like, you just have to become a unicorn in, like, in a couple of few years. I mean, if you compare, like, the likes of Ambani's, or you compare with the likes of Tatas, I mean, they've stayed till now and are still doing so well, is because of the long term sustainability plan that they have from
Yeah.
the business point of view. It's not like they dreamt of becoming unicorns overnight.
Unicorns is still in a fairy tale. धंधा बनाना सीखो, unicorn नहीं. I think one line that I would want to add: create value for your startup, not valuation for your startup.
Okay. That is a brilliant line. Create value for your startup and not valuation for your startup.
The moment you create value, valuation will automatically come.
Yes.
You don't need it. धंधा धंधा बनाना, धंधा करना सीखो, धंधा अपने आप बन जाएगा.
True. Okay. Any last take back messages for our viewers?
So I think there are a lot of messages that have come across. But guys, I think what Vidhi is doing around, she's really great as an individual as well. Please do reach out to her. She's answered a lot of my questions as well in my interactions with her in multiple such forums, and often we get bumped into each other in multiple places. She definitely have been answering to it. And the doctor in front of her name is not just given it out for their reason. It's because of her hard work, and the kind of passion that she has in this field is what that is. She's achieved that. I think she answers you. If you have anything, please reach out to her. And definitely, I think thank you so much, Vidhi, for having me here. And it was lovely having interacting with you. And hope this was useful.
Yes, absolutely. We are very grateful for you to come on board as a speaker and interacting with us. Thank you for those kind words as well. Also, we are very grateful to you for sharing your expertise and your passion with us today. Your courage and dedication to bring businesses closer to the sustainable alternatives, while also ensuring decent work and inclusivity for those working at the grassroots level, is truly commendable, and we have a lot to learn from you as well. As for our wonderful viewers, thank you for tuning into yet another episode of Sustainability Sparks. Remember, every time you buy a product or you source a material, there is always a sustainable alternative available. If you face any kind of challenge, you can always contact us, or you can contact our wonderful guest at Switcheko. For the rest of updates, stay tuned to our social media channels. Thank you.